Hello and welcome to Tip The Footy, the site that is more than just tips. Today we're going to be focusing on 3 games that are being played. One is quite late on tonight, is the Gold Cup. There'll be a few tips at the end and a few little ones along the way. Firstly, to the Gold Cup. It's the 6th time that the USA and Mexico have met each other in this particular final. Mexico coming out on top, 4-1. In this game I'm expecting quite a few cards with tensions quite high between the two nations. As far as goal scorers go, you can look no further than Raul Jimenez. The Wolves frontman has netted in his last 3 games in this tournament and 5 in total. Christian Pulisic at the USA is also one to look out for in goal scoring terms. He got 2 against Jamaica the other night and also has 3 in the tournament so far. I'm sure Chelsea fans will be interested to watch him, see how he gets on with him being joining Chelsea at the start of the season. I think obviously under new coach Frank Lampard. I've actually got these written down. So Raul Jimenez to score first is 21-4 at Unibet. For an anytime goal it's 21-10 with Betway. They're the best prices at the time of recording. Christian Pulisic is 10-1 with Bet365 to score first, and 15-4 to score anytime also with Bet365. That's quite a decent. They're quite decent odds really for Pulisic considering his form in the last few games. Yeah, it's going to be quite a tough one. The other game we're going to be focusing on as well. I mean, obviously they're not the tips. They're just giving you an idea of what prices are. The tips will come at the end. The next game we're going to be focusing on is Brazil versus Peru in the Copa America final. Brazil haven't won the Copa America since 2007, and Peru haven't won it since 1975. Alisson's got 9 clean sheets in his last 9 games. Now, this is a tricky game, this. I think the way Brazil have played in this tournament without Neymar shows that there's a lot more to them when they've not got that figurehead there. I think Bobby Firmino, Gabriel Jesus, all doing pretty well together, like forming a bit more of a team environment. Alisson, obviously, like I said before, with 9 clean sheets in a row for club and country. I don't see Peru scoring here. Although Peru, I've been watching the tournament, but Peru are very difficult to break down. They sit deep. Chile were picked off at will by Peru, so they can counter-attack really well. But they're very hard to break down. Chile didn't get a lot of chance. They have a penalty at the end, and he tried to Panenka it. I think it was Vargas. It was awful. Little Panenka. Keeper just stood there and picked it out of the air. It was a penalty, though. It should have been given. It was a penalty. So looking into how they're going to play, I can see Peru trying to push as long as possible and try and hit Brazil on the counter-attack. Now, that being said, with Alisson's form and the strength of Brazil's defence, it's a tough one. I think Brazil will eventually lift the trophy, but we'll talk a little bit more about that later. I do think that Brazil will win it, but Peru are a very difficult team to beat. They don't look like a team who's just turning up to make the numbers and to get to the final. They've done really well. I think they beat Uruguay on the way. They beat obviously Chile just gone, and coming up now against Brazil. Definitely the strongest team in the tournament so far. But it'll be interesting to see how that pans out. So the next game we're going to focus on is Algeria Guinea in the African Cup of Nations. It's the last 16 game. Algeria have got 4 wins in the last 5 with 1 draw. Guinea have only got 1 win in the last 5 games with 3 defeats. Riyad Mahrez likely to pull the strings there for Algeria. Very good player, obviously signed for Man City last season, but he was instrumental in Leicester's title-winning campaign. Him to score any time is 5-2 at best price at the minutes with Sport and Bet. And I fancy Algeria to pick that to win that in the 90 minutes. Guinea are a reasonable side, but they're not on form at all. I think Algeria, I've said before, 4-5. They're looking pretty strong going into this, and I fancy Algeria to get the job done in the 90 minutes. So for our bet of the day, we've gone with Mexico-USA. We think both teams to score. I think evens is a really good price for both teams to score in this fixture because it does seem to happen quite a lot. It's evens at the minute with Paddy Power, William Hill and Coral. Obviously check your bookmaker, make sure see what the score is with their odds. But I think even money, a little double your money, bet of the day, we'll go with Mexico-USA for both teams to score. Also, we've got a little treble to go with it. It's a reasonably safe treble in terms of trying to limit the danger of extra time and penalties sort of screwing your bet a little bit. So we've gone with Mexico to lift the trophy in the CONCACAF Gold Cup, we've gone with Algeria to win in 90 minutes and Brazil to lift the trophy in Copa America. So that's best price at the minute at Unibet at 2.32 to 1. Definitely worth a little punt there. I think that's got a really solid chance of coming in. And the final little bet that we're going to have tonight is it's a same game multi with Paddy Power. It's Mexico USA, again in the CONCACAF Gold Cup. We're going to be looking at both teams to score, over 9.5 corners, because Mexico are averaging, I think, on their own about 10.4 corners on average a game so far this tournament. So over 9.5 corners, for both teams, I think that's probably reasonable. I think there'll be a lot of crosses in that game, and obviously a lot of deflections to go out for corners. Mexico to lift the cup ultimately, and over 2.5 goals. I think we could have a real goal fest tonight. It could be 2 or 3, 2 or 3-1, 2 or 3-2, something like that. I think there's definitely a chance for a lot of goals in tonight's game, and that's 10.82 to 1 with Paddy Power on the same bet multi page. So you've got obviously all your normal stuff, but when you click on the Mexico USA game, there's an option there which says same game multi. If you click that, you can actually build that bet yourselves, and yeah, I think that's got a real strong chance of coming in. It's going to be probably, I think, the most exciting game of the three, to be honest. I think Peru-Brazil will be very tactical, like a chess match. I think Algeria Guinea will be typical African Cup of Nations game, really hot there, so not a lot going on. It's not been the most exciting tournament to watch this time round, and I think this CONCACAF Gold Cup will be the best game of the night. I think there'll be plenty of goals and plenty of incidents. I think there'll be definitely plenty of cards. So let's hope that pans out that way. Obviously, like, comment and subscribe on this video. Also down below, if you comment on what you're on for the evening, if you think these tips are right, if you think they're going to be wrong, let us know. Obviously ahead of time, don't let us know after the event, because that'll be a bit bizarre. But anything that you're on this evening, let us know. Pop that in the comments. Obviously on the website, there'll be a blog post to accompany this, and that'll have a place for you to comment there also. Head over to our Facebook page and our Twitter. All the links are below. We hope you have a really pleasant evening, and hopefully we'll back tomorrow with a bit of an idea of how well we've done. Thank you, take care, bye.